Well, that wasn't good enough. Let's be perfectly honest. That was a shambles, completely shambolic. I did the review in my van last night, and I was going to do it directly afterwards. But as I said to Gio earlier, I didn't really know what to say. I was completely flabbergasted, sucked the complete life out of so many people, that performance. And I couldn't really analyse it. I couldn't really think what had gone on. It just wasn't making any sense in my mind. Just pure and utter frustration. Now, Mark Noble said a little while ago that West Ham wasn't run like a circus anymore, and I am not digging out Mark Noble at all for that. You know, why wouldn't he have said that at the time? We were on the back of our best season in a long time at the end of the Upton Park era, and it looked like things were, you know, going quite well. We had a world-class player. Bilic looked like a really good manager, so why shouldn't he say the club isn't run like a circus anymore? But I tell you what, at least the circus has a bit of entertainment, has a bit of fight about it, and that was bad. Very, very bad. To go out in such an insipid way in a cup competition was disgraceful. And the reason I couldn't really analyse it last night was just all the frustration surrounding it. And when I look at it in a cold light of day, particularly off the back of the Arnautovic announcement that's come afterwards, I started to think about players. And I just wonder what Pellegrini's going to do. And I don't think Pellegrini is innocent for what happened last night. I think he should have gone stronger, and I think he could have gone stronger, but it was still a strong team. It wasn't a team of under 23-year-olds, but I think the resting of Declan Rice was definitely crucial, as others had pointed out, even on this channel. And it just showed that maybe we thought that Wimbledon were going to roll over and have their tummies tickled, and that certainly wasn't the case. I just very quickly want to go through the team one by one and just give you my opinions on them, and then we'll go from there. But I've got 3 videos which were sent through last night. Sorry it's taken me a little while to get them up, but I mean, there's been so many videos, so much reaction going up. We got Tom, we got Bez, and we got Scotty D. Now, I think I've not even watched the videos yet. I'm going to watch them as I process and edit this video. They're clearly not going to be happy, and I think at least 2 of them, I think Scotty and Tom's were reactions straight away after last night. So you've got to imagine when they're doing this, not only have we been booted out the FA Cup by Wimbledon, the Arnie news has broken about him signing a new deal and that ridiculous message, whatever it was. Anyway, so last night, Adrien, I mean, I understand why he played him, but surely you played Fabian. There he is, Fabianski. Surely you played Fabianski. He's our best keeper. Certainly, I thought, was it the 3rd or 4th goal? Can't remember. So many bloody goals, wasn't there? I think it might have been the 4th one. He was caught flapping for that. A goalkeeper's a big part of a defensive structure and a defensive unit. You keep the centre backs the same. You keep the goalkeeper the same, and they all get confidence from that. They're all used to playing with each other. We'll go with right back. Antonio was no right back, really. I mean, having said that, I thought he was the only one at points in that first half in particular was looking like trying to take their opponent on. But our attacking was terrible, absolutely terrible. So there you go. Zabaleta, maybe, you know, you would allow for that one. Zabaleta maybe needed a rest, but clearly, Pellegrini had highlighted the Wolves game as being the most important. And I don't like that. We've got decent points in the Premier League. It's all about the glory of the cup for me. This was a real chance for us to do something and just to go somewhere and get a little bit of glory. As I said before in previous videos, a real opportunity for some of the players and the manager to make themselves legends within the club. So, but you know what, Zabaleta, fair enough. Diop, I'll tell you what, I could believe at the start of the game how much Diop was having to head the ball away. It was absolutely ridiculous. But I think it'd be hard to say when we've shipped 4 goals against a team like Wimbledon that any defender had a good game. So I'm not going to say Diop had a good game at all, but he was certainly called into action far more than I ever anticipated. The bloke next to him, however, Ogbonna, I never thought when we paid that money for Balbuena that losing Balbuena would cause us such problems. I reckon if Pellegrini adds defensive options, I'm not sure Ogbonna would play again. It was truly awful. It was terrible. Really, really bad. I don't want to dwell on it. Otherwise, this is going to be a 40-minute video, and I don't want to do that to you. And I want to get to the other people's videos, so I'll just fly through them really quickly, just give my opinions on them. Masuaku, well, that was truly awful. Masuaku is, I would be surprised if Cresswell remains fit. Bearing in mind, we haven't got fixture congestion anymore, so we're not in any other competitions. I'll be surprised if Masuaku plays for West Ham again when Cresswell's there. Just not good enough. He's got no defensive mindset. His marking is absolutely atrocious. He's good going forward. Like Ogbonna was good in the 3 at the back system for David Moyes. Ogbonna is no good in a flat back 4. Well, you know what? Masuaku is no good in a flat back 4. And some people have had their cards marked last night, and Masuaku would have one of them. I don't think he'll play again. I really don't. Snodgrass didn't have his best game. Had a poor game. Wasn't very good at all. He kept him on. I think Pellegrini said in his press conference afterwards that if he'd have made 11 changes, he probably would have done. And I understand that. Noble was the only one in the first half that had any sort of technique in there. So I don't want to criticise him. But having said that, our midfield was overrun by their midfield. So clearly something was wrong. I mean, the midfield was a massive issue for us. Not good enough. But in the same way that I perhaps went easy on Diop, I have to go easy with Noble because, like Diop, Noble's partner was awful. I mean, Obiang was just surely can't play. Can't play for West Ham again, can he? That was absolutely atrocious. I mean, for him to lose the ball like that, and just the way he played, for him to get dominated by a lower league opposition midfield, that's why when people are saying, oh, actually, you know, whatever, 9-10 million for Obiang, it's not enough. I'll tell you what, it is. There's plenty. We paid 5 million for him. We need to cut our losses. Not good enough at all. Which was absolutely terrible. Diangana, not a good game for Diangana. I'm sorry. Again, I'll go easy on him because he's a young player. But again, Diangana should be better than any of those Wimbledon players. It really should. Wimbledon or just shouldn't be able to even afford a player like Diangana. One of the best talents in our academy. Has played a lot of first team football this season. Should be a step above anything they had. Didn't impose himself on the game at all. But it's obviously going to be difficult with those players that are around him and the lack of support he's got. Andy Carroll was atrocious again, I would like to say. I don't think he played to his strengths. I don't think Pellegrini's system suits him, but I'm a scratch record on it. It's just not going to work with him and Pellegrini. I think the best thing that happened for Andy Carroll was that Sam Allardyce gets a job at some point in the next couple of days. And then he'll go. And I'm sure Andy Carroll will score some more Premier League goals and be all right. But I'll tell you what, it was next to useless again. For that first goal, we conceded, the ball just did not stick. Terrible. Again, cannot play again. I'm sure he can't play. I'm sure he won't play again for us. But this is why Arnautovic is going to end up playing, because the options we've got there. Which brings us to Chicharito. Javier Hernandez. No good. Interest from Valencia. Looks like his mind's on the interest from Valencia as well. You'd expect... His times his career, he's played for Man United, he's played for Real Madrid, played really well, looked a top player in the World Cup as well. So there's been times in his career when he's looked like one of the best players in the world, one of the best strikers in the world. Should be far too much for any AFC Wimbledon defence. But they handled him easily. And I'll tell you what, and I'll say this about a lot of the players, when I looked at Hernandez, there were times last night where there's a serious lack of effort. Just didn't want it enough, and that is a shocker. That is an absolute shocker from that West Ham team. I don't know who was getting hold of them in a dressing room or not getting hold of them. Somebody needed to say, we need to win this game. And I tell you what, it wouldn't have been easy for them. It wouldn't have been easy for them because we were very, very close to the pitch. Very close to the pitch. And we didn't start off hostile at all. I wouldn't even say there was loads of booing or anything like that, but you know, people left at the end. I mean, when their fourth goal went in, people just left. It's absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. The substitutes, well, I think the substitutes did well, you have to say. Perez scored a goal. I think he won the free kick for Anderson's goal as well. Anderson was very, very good. Clearly a level above, but so many of our players should have been a level above Wimbledon. I actually thought Fredericks did well as well when he came on. But what Pellegrini said about making 11 changes was absolutely true. A lot of those can't play. A lot of those cannot play for West Ham or Pellegrini again. This is why I want Pellegrini to learn. And I want him to realise that actually he can't chop and change like that. We want to win the FA Cup, particularly when we're in a relatively safe position in the league. But this is why Pellegrini needs 2 or 3 transfer windows. There's a lot of dead wood, a lot of old players who were from previous managers who are just not going to play under him and not good enough, cannot play the way that he wants to play. And there was some quite telling stuff actually with Anderson, where Anderson was looking to be bright and make things happen. There was a point where he just stood there holding his hands up because there was just no movement. People weren't moving for him. They went into their shells a bit, like they were a bit frightened to be adventurous, frightened to risk something, frightened to make something happen. And then they were playing a team who had no fear. Anyway, that's it. Listen, I've got the boys coming up now. I just run the videos 1-to-1. You're welcome to have your say. Send your videos into info@hammerschat.com. Record yourself on your mobile phone. This is the forum channel. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming on the forum channel. And this is a chance for you all to have your say. So tune in, leave your comments below. I'll leave you in the safe and capable hands of the fellas now. Still some of the transfer window left to run. Who knows what's going to happen at Circus West Ham?
Hi guys, just a really quick one, just because the game's just finished and this news has just come out, or a little video from the official Twitter account that Marko Arnautovic has signed a new deal. I can't believe this saga. What is going on? I'm in absolute shock at this. I certainly didn't expect to be seeing that after today's game. Poor timing, by the way. What a ridiculous time to put something like that out. We've just gone out the FA Cup, biggest game of the season, and yeah, we'll put this out there. What a joke. The guy's got what he wanted. His brother's got what he wanted all along. I just can't believe it. We've basically pandered down to him. Maybe it's because I'm reacting so soon after finding out. I've not had several hours to process this. I've not even read the article or anything like that. I've just sort of quickly seen the news and a snippet of the video. And just in total shock. 1 minute we think he's out the door and we're lining up a good replacement. And the next minute he's signing a new deal as if everything's rosy and he loves the club. It's just all a bit strange. And like, in a way, I don't know what to make of it. My initial reaction is, yeah, complete shock. A bit pissed off, really, because it shows other players. That's my worry. It perhaps shows other players that act up like that, start messing around, getting your agent to tout you around, and next thing, you get yourself a pay rise. And the other thing that's a little bit of a disappointment is, it says contract extension. So, obviously, he's had years added to it. That's a dangerous game. It really is. I've said on one of these videos before about the way this football club's run in terms of how we hand out our contracts. The fact that we had Andy Carroll, for instance, on a 5-year deal on such big money, and players going into the latter years of their careers on big contracts, because what it means, he's going to be here until he's sort of 34 years of age. Is he going to be the same sort of player then? No, he's not. He's just not. And he's going to be on big money. And it's like a noose around the club's neck that restricts our ability in the transfer market to spend them extra funds elsewhere on younger players that have got more of a future. So I don't like to see us offering contracts to players that are sort of approaching 30 and over on big money. I just don't. I think, in a way, the old Arsene Wenger way, he did get criticised for it a lot, but I could see his point. He never offered new deals to players over 30 years of age. And in a way, if you wanted to build as a club, it's not a bad idea, really. Because, like I say, you don't want to be held to ransom by these players and start dishing out big money to players that, what's he going to be? He's going to be just around the squad at 34 years of age. He ain't going to be the same Marko Arnautovic. So, there's that side of it. There's a side of it, as I've already said, that I don't want this to now be a culture within the club where players think they can act up just to get a new deal. We certainly don't want to see that. There's the other aspect of it. If it wasn't for all this, Gio said it himself, if he'd have played against Bournemouth, we might have got something. So he's let the club down, he's let the fans down, he's let his teammates down there. And the same tonight, arguably. Would we have seen a different performance from us tonight if Marko Arnautovic played? Maybe not. I don't know if one player would have necessarily made that much difference, but it might have done. It might have done. We'll never know, will we? Because he weren't there, because he was sulking, and now he's got a new deal because of it. So I'm a bit shocked. It just stinks of the club being a little bit weak when I think maybe we should have took the hard approach. Look, I know a lot of you are probably going to be happy about this, and maybe in the cold light of day, when I've calmed down, maybe tomorrow morning, I might even feel differently. But this is a reaction straight away, how I felt immediately after seeing the news. So let us know what you think. I think, again, like earlier on, this is going to completely split the fan base in two. I think there's going to be the camp that are delighted, that think this is just the end to the saga. He is arguably one of our best players, and we've sort of secured our future with him. But, yeah, I've just sort of took it the other way, is my initial reaction. But like I say, football's a fickle game. If he plays against Wolves and he scores a hat-trick, gets man of the match, I know for a fact I'll be cheering it and I'll be happy about it, because that's just the way football is. And we change our opinions like that. So, but yeah, initial reaction, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it, and especially the timing and the announcement. That's quite comical, really, even for this football club. Anyway, that's up for me. I've ranted on enough. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you soon.
Morning everyone, just wanted to give my opinion on the whole Arnautovic situation. Basically I'm pretty happy that it's kind of hopefully all going to stop now, all this bullshit and all of this crap that's going on at the club at the minute. I am a bit disappointed in Arnautovic. I thought, you know, things could have been handled a lot better than what they did. You know, I don't blame him for having his head turned, because that's the way the world is these days. I remember being offered a job with better money, and maybe considering it, because if someone is going to come in and offer you better terms, better conditions, you are going to think about it. That's just human nature. But the way that it was handled was bad. It could have been handled a lot better. And like you say, to wave at the fans and, you know, tell half the team that you wanted to leave is not ideal, and it's just not going to go down very well. I was at work last night, so I didn't watch the Wimbledon game. Apparently we played shit. And that, I mean, I know we didn't play certain players, but that probably was an impact of what's been going on at the club recently. I'm not putting it solely down to that, but at the end of the day, you know, all this shit that's going on with Arnautovic, and has been going on with Arnautovic, is not good for the club. And I just want to move forward now. Do I think Arnautovic is going to stay? No. Do I think he'll be sold in the summer? Yes. So if we can try and just get the best out of him for the club, sort out a deal with a replacement that comes in the summer. There's talk of this Maxi Gomez. I know Celta Vigo want a lot of money for him, but I don't blame the club for holding out for £50 million for Arnautovic. I think he's worth that at a minimum, really. But I do think he needs to tone it down a little bit. He is an arrogant prick. He needs to sort his attitude out, and he needs to get his head down, and he needs to score goals. A lot of fans at the moment, including myself, ain't happy with what's been going on. I don't want another Payet situation, pretty much. It's fucking bullshit, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, the best thing, a bit of advice I can give Arnautovic, not that he's going to fucking listen to me, but it's just to get your nut down, mate, and fucking start scoring some goals and give these fans back something that that they've been missing for a while. So that's my opinion on it. Like you say, we'll have to just see what happens in the summer now, so I think we've tied him down till then.
So the game's just finished. AFC Wimbledon 4, West Ham United 2. What an absolutely terrible performance tonight. Absolutely diabolical. Shameful even. We didn't look like a Premier League side tonight. We looked like the team that should have been bottom of League One. We turned up with absolutely no desire, no energy. It's kind of like we just turned up tonight and went, do you know what, lads, if we just rock up here, we're going to win. We don't even have to come out of second gear. And even though on paper that might be the case, it never plays out like that, and we should have known that. We were naive tonight. That was absolutely ridiculous. Again, West Ham being the record breakers, we're the first team that they've beaten above them, I think, or the second, but it's definitely not something they've done very much. I think actually they've done it in 2011. But I mean, apart from the fact that they seem to play all right tonight, I mean, I think if they played like that every week, they probably wouldn't be bottom of League One. But I'm not letting us off the hook tonight. We were absolutely useless. That first half was some of the worst football I've seen all season. Probably the worst football I've seen this season. It was terrible. We couldn't even string a pass together. Ogbonna just is a disaster. He's an absolute danger at the back, and he weren't even our worst defender tonight. What was Masuaku doing for large parts of this game? He's terrible on that left back position. You know, hopefully we'll see Cresswell now for the rest of the season, because he just leaves us so open. It's ridiculous. He's useless. But you know, the whole team were useless tonight. It just kind of goes to show, really, doesn't it, that Declan Rice is what makes this team tick. And without him in that middle to break up play and spread the ball around, we kind of run out of ideas. Obiang was useless tonight. I think Diangana struggled to get into the game. He didn't necessarily do anything bad, but he just didn't do anything at all. Andy Carroll was useless tonight again. You know, I think when we came out in the second half, we were unfortunate to concede when we did, because I think we could have probably brought it back to 2-2, but again, the defending was woeful, absolutely terrible. But yeah, I think apart from 20 minutes where we looked like there was a possibility we could come back into the game, we just never really had the guile, really, to get the end product there. Chicharito, we talk about Arnautovic in the week, with his head being the right place. For me, Chicharito went missing for a lot of the game tonight, and when he did get a chance, he fluffed his lines. And, you know, to me, his head don't look in it. He doesn't look like he wants to be here. If we do get rid of a striker, I hope it's him. You know, he's done all right this season, but I don't think he wants to be here anymore. And apart from that, you know, 3 changes at half-time did do something, but we were just awful at the back tonight. It was absolutely terrible, and this is probably a bit of a bitty video, because I'm still in a bit of shock, to be honest. I don't really know what to say. It's just terrible, and I want to forget tonight. Once again, West Ham have ruined my weekend, but look, we go again on Tuesday night. Hopefully we can get a win against Wolves, and all focus has got to be on the league now. You know, I think in order for us to say we've had a good season, we've got to be looking to finish top 8. And we've got to get some of our injuries back, injured players back, because the team's starting to look a bit shaky now. You know, we need Balbuena back. I think we could really do with someone like Lanzini in there as well. And, you know, just having a fully fit squad is really what we need. But yeah, we go again. Don't forget to subscribe to both channels, and if you can, enjoy the rest of your weekend. But we go again Tuesday night.